Hello friends, this is Cara-Renee with B.Reborn Art and Healing coming to you with another tutorial. This is another interactive element that we're going to be making today on camera. I've made a variety of samples, so all of these are samples, so I'll show you those in just a second. But first let me show you the mechanism, or the piece. So the piece finished is 5 inches by 5 inches. The base is 5 inches tall by 10 inches long, and the mechanism inside is 7 by 7, okay? And so when you open it, you've got this pop-up feature, and all of this can be written on. Now, I did have a problem with some of mine off camera where my paper's not laying flat. So I'm going to show you a trick to ensure that that does not happen to you. So some of the samples I'm going to show you, I had a problem with that. So I'm going to talk about this more in a minute. I've got my supplies here, my whale tail punch. I did buy the new eyelet setter from We Are Memory Keepers. It was my previous one was just done because I think the spring or something, because this one works like a charm. Corner rounder, eyelets, my vintage photo archival ink, and my bone folders. So let's go ahead and get started. So I created a variety of variations. So this one is the mechanism, the piece in a pocket. So this would be the pocket that would be glued down to the page, and then the mechanism the piece is here, like so. Okay. And then, and I like that we've got that color in there. That's kind of cool. I missed that. And then this one has a pocket on the back with a couple of journal cards as well. But it would go into the pocket this direction. It's a gusseted pocket, so it should hold all this. And then these two journal cards would sit in the top like so. So that's one variation. This is one I used, Pink Monarch Prints June 2025 subscription kit. And again, it's just that. I forgot to ink around the edges of this one. This is another one that does not lay flat, but I'm going to show you the trick. But you could still use it if you go like this, put a piece of paper behind it. But yeah, some of them are just not what they should be, but we're going to use them anyway. This one is using a kit from Amity Bloom called Love Is, and she's got 3 cards in the pocket, a vellum pocket, and then opens up like that. And I think this one was, no, this one's popping up too. This one was a little bit better and can be written on, but I'll show you how to avoid that error for yourself. A vellum pocket with a little bit of an embellishment there. And then we've got a card that's in the front, and then we've got 2 cards in the back of the pocket. So it'd go behind here. So this one would go in front, these 2 would go behind, and then our mechanism is here. And this one lays perfectly flat because I think it was at this point that I figured it out. Although all my ink lines are on the outside, I did not want that. So this will probably go in my reference journal because that's kind of retarded. But that's okay, we'll work with it. This one is a long or tall belly band, is 8 1/4 inches tall, and the mechanism piece will fit behind the belly band. Along with a couple of big journal cards, okay? And this mechanism opens down, and she lays perfectly flat as well. So I think these must have been the order that I made them. But we will figure it out. And then this is just a simple one that's just got a removable belly band. So this would be, would go in your journal. It would get glued here, as you guys have seen me do many, many times. And it opens again. The mechanism is like that. It lays completely flat. And I love that I have this image on the inside as well, because it creates a little bit more interest for that. So, so the reason why I created this one is because I realized that this is not a very functional piece of ephemera in a normal journal. So if you were to remove this belly band and just deal with this piece, and let's say this was your journal card, okay, and this is your center of your page, even if you put it as far out to the right corner as you could, when it was glued down, it would open up like this. Whoops, wrong way. This one is a flip down how is this supposed to work? Like this. So this one would be different. So anyway, regardless, you're going to be like this. So your writing space is going to cross page. It's going to go off the page and it's going to go over into the other page. I don't think that's very functional. So I'm going to show you another way besides this that you could do this. So we are going to make one that is removable from the journal completely. As you've seen me do before, I like to use Velcro dots because it allows you to put a piece of ephemera in your journal, remove it completely, write on it without anything in your way, any obstacles, and you're good to go. Okay. And I apologize. This is probably going to be a little rough. This is my third take on this video. So it's the end of my week. It's Thursday, the 28th of August. We just finished our first week of school, just 3 days with the students, but, and it was a good week, but I'm exhausted and I had really trouble. As soon as I turned the camera on, I was having trouble with the folds for the mechanism. So I'm going to show you it on a piece of white paper before we do it here, so that you can see the trick that I figured out, how to get myself through this. So our mechanism is 7 inches by 7 inches, okay? And you're going to fold it diagonal from point to point. Now we're going to do this together, but we're going to fold it from point to point this way, okay? And then you're going to fold it in half, and then you're going to fold it in half. Okay, we'll go through that a little bit more in a minute. So the only way I could figure out how to make this make sense is I had to kind of go like this, okay, and kind of make a box. So see how it's kind of standing up like a box? Fold that, just push that one down, and then you're in your place. I could not get this to work at all. 2 videos, you guys. I mean, I was nearly in tears. It was terrible. My brain struggles with things like this, which is really good for me to do things like this because it keeps my brain sharp and keeps my brain learning. So but it's okay to find a trick that works for you. So what worked for me is to lay it so my points with the diagonal line are here. Just put my finger here, fold that in, and you're down, okay? And then you can just burnish everything up. So we're going to get going. So I've got a bunch of bits over here. We've got some extra pieces in case we need them for something. And then this is our main base. So this is already cut down and it measures 5 inches by 10 inches. So we're going to go ahead and just fold this in half. Just a simple fold. I did play around with trying to make these bigger, but they do not work because they would not fit in your journal. Because my journal pages are 5 1/4 inches wide, so anything wider than 5 is really not going to work. You could go 5 1/4, but I think that would be pushing it in your journal. So there we go. And I think I want that to be up like that. So I want to go ahead and round these bits. So I'm going to take a moment. I'm going to round all the corners, and then I'm going to ink the inside and the outside of this, and I'll be right back. Okay, we are all inked up and ready to go. So I do, on my previous samples, I printed this tea stain paper on 32-pound paper. I ran out, so this is on 20-pound. A little bit too thin for me, but I don't want to stop to print a new one. So once you have your piece that's cut 7 by 7, you're going to fold corner to corner. Now, if you wanted to score it, you could score it, but I find that it's just as easy to just give it a gentle fold, get everything lined up, and then and then you commit, right? So again, perfection is not at play. I didn't find it really mattered too much in terms of it doesn't affect the mechanism if it's not quite straight. So we're going to just burnish that out and then go ahead and open it back up. So that's your first fold. And then you're going to turn it, fold it fold it edge to edge. Okay. Like so. I'm going to try to turn this so I can just see that edge. It's a little tricky. Okay, fold that. Okay, so now you should have 2 folds, one diagonal and one there. We're going to turn it one more time. And I'll show you what this is going to look like, so don't be concerned if you're missing something. I'm going to ink it so that you can see what it should look like, what your fold should look like. Okay. All right, so let me go ahead and ink this up really quick just so you can see everything clearly on the camera. So I'll be right back. I am inking just the outside edges of one side of this paper, which you'll be able to see here. I don't want all the lines inked in this case, so that will be our top and this will be our bottom. So this is what it should look like. You should have a diagonal line going this way, a fold here and a fold here, okay? And so now what you're going to do is go ahead and turn it this way, pinch this, give it a good crease there, and then give this a good crease. So what we're going to do is we're going to fold this way. See, it just pops down, which is my problem. Not everything is trained yet. So let's figure out, let's get our fold straight. So fold this one in, crease that one, crease this one. Okay, everything needs to go in here. Okay, crease this one. And that should be all of our folds. Okay, so now just take your finger, push this down like that. Okay, and then push this one down like that, and push this down. Okay, and you should get a nice little square. I'm going to give this a good burnish. Okay, and then I'm going to show you the trick for making sure it's lined up in here so it lays flat. So this is our front. It's going to open like this because I like that rose. So when you put your mechanism in, you can turn it this way because the mechanism is not going to affect where it is placed, is not going to affect your design, the direction of your design. So I am going to close this just so I have just my 5x5 here. And I'm going to go ahead and get my black marker and I'm going to line this up on my grid. I'm going to make a mark on all 4 points just so that we can get it nice, as straight as we possibly can. Okay. So this would be the halfway mark there. Turn it. Halfway mark there. And there. And one more. And there. Okay. So this is really important because this was one of the reasons why one of my videos did not work, is I ended up putting it on wrong. So open this back up. Again, it doesn't matter if you do work this way or this way as far as the mechanism goes. But what we want to make sure is that our points of our mechanism fit between those points. Additionally, it is important that this is pointed up. So your diagonal fold, this one, needs to be pointed up. So when you open it up there, it should be this way, okay? So let me see if I can figure this out. I'm gonna just put this down just so I can make sure, yeah, like that, okay? So I'm gonna make a pencil mark here. I know this should be so much easier than it is. And let me see if I can see my marks. What happened to my, oh, I guess it's right there. Okay, so you're gonna butt that, you're gonna line that up to that mark, and you're going to turn this until all the marks are being touched by your mechanism as best as you can. Now, because we're going to use Fabri-Tac, we're going to have a little bit of time to move it, okay? And I put that arrow there just so I don't get all confused. Now, double check your work if you doubt yourself. So hold that down, open, okay, we're good. Okay, now we're going to turn this over. I'm going to cover this with my Fabri-Tac. Part of my problem with this project is I rushed myself a little bit because I'm going to be gone tomorrow, and tomorrow's a Friday, tomorrow's a live video day, and I didn't get a video done because I messed this one up so many times. So I'm just going to put that down. I'm going to make sure it's not hanging over anywhere. It's just lined up perfectly. And then we're going to go ahead and put glue on this side. Okay, so this is just the square part of your mechanism, okay? And I'll show you that on the template here in a sec. Okay, and then you're just going to close this down on it, okay? And then we're going to open it right back up because we want to be able to make sure that's flat, nice and flat. So we're a little bit off because we're not quite to that edge, but we're to that edge. But I'm not worried about it. Everything's folding nicely. feels like it's a little bit stuck, but once you commit, especially because we're working on 20-pound paper, I don't have as much luxury of moving this around and forcing it. So close it up and then just give this side a burnish. It's just a little bit stuck there, but that happened on another one as well. So there we go. So now this is our front. Our mechanism opens like this. Oh, I did it upside down again. Oh my word, Cara-Renee. So I should have flipped that over. So you want these inked lines, which I inked solely for you. You do not have to ink them. You would want those to be on the other side. So we're going to make it work. It's fine. People can still write on this, whatever journal it goes into. It's not a big deal. It's just not what I was going for. Oh my heavens. Goodness gracious. Okay, so there we go. That is our project. So now the other thing one wants to consider is if we're going to make this a removable piece of ephemera, you're going to want something to hold this closed. So I think for now, I'm just going to grab a paper clip, a bronze paper clip, and I'm just going to clip it. Okay, and then I'll put something on that. Maybe I'll look in my drawer and see if I've got a pretty dangle or something that's already pre-made. But that's what you're dealing with here. So we do want to decorate this up a little bit. So I do have a strip of that paper, which I thought would be fun to repeat some of those patterns like that and just make a strip here. So I think I would like to do that. I'm just going to bring my cutter over here. Just a moment. Sorry, this is the new cutter, which I am loving. First, I had to get used to how do I use the score tool and the blade, because neither one of them get out of the way, right? So you got to go score up, cut down, which works just fine. So I'm just gonna, I want to trim this off so that I'm just seeing that rose, basically. Okay, and then we can make a mark here and see how long we need that to be. I like that rose, so we're going to repeat it here. So I'm going to put that there, just putting a decorative bit on here. I'm going to make a pencil mark there and trim that off. Sorry for the roughness of that. My goodness gracious. And I told myself, don't do it upside down. Normally I would not have inked it at all. I just wanted to ink it for the camera. So I'm going to round the corners on this, just again for decorative purposes, using the same 10mm rounder. Like so. Oh, goodness. Goodness gracious. Get that a little bit of ink. Okay. And then I think I'd like to have it not quite halfway. So I think we'll just use our Fabri-Tac just so we can move it if we need to. Adjust. I love my Fabri-Tac. Okay. I love that cross section. That looks really cool. It looks really patchy, patchworky. Okay. And then I pulled this out, but I'm feeling like it's too white. So let's look together and see what we can see. If we've got something better in here. I thought that I liked that, but now that I've put it on there, I don't. So it's just a little bit too white for my liking. That would be kind of fun. I'd love to see that one in a bigger way, but I'm not sure what I have. So, oh, that would be lovely as well. That one is also cool. Some of these are ones that I just cut just randomly as I was working on this project. Oh, I want this one right here. I love this image. It's going to be repeated in the ephemera that's going to go behind this piece. But look at that pin cushion. Ah, here it is in a bigger size. It's so beautiful. So beautiful. Look at that. Okay, so I'm going to find a circle punch here. This is a 2.5. It might be too big. Let's see. Let's see. Nope, it's going to be good. So we're just going to round that up there and use that one. I love it. I like repeating patterns, as I often say. So I'm going to go ahead and ink that up as well. And then I'm feeling like I want some lace. So I'm going to reach behind me and see what I can find. Let's just use this little thin lace. I don't want to take away too much from all that's going on here. So I'm going to just cut a length off and then we'll even that up here in a sec. Might have been a very straight cut. It's looking very straight. Oh yeah, look at that. So pretty. Oh my heavens. Yeah, let's just glue it on and then we can trim off the other edge. I'm just reaching for a paper towel. Okay. Use my Fabri-Tac. And I like to do this so I can kind of see where I want that to be lined up. See how I've got it centered to my strip, and then I know exactly where to have the glue. Okay. And we're going to just put that down, and we're just going to pull it down just a bit. Boom, like so. Give that a little bit of a press just to get that to make contact. Hold it up. Sometimes holding it up will help you see if it's straight or not. Feels like it's not straight. Looks okay. I'm going to just trim that off. I'm hoping that my regular scissors will work okay for that. There we go. Boy, some days are just hard, right? Oh my goodness. Okay, there we go. Just gonna ink those edges up so they're not too stark. Perfect. And we will go ahead and glue that on as well. Let's find a word or quote to put on the front of this. Oh, that is really beautiful. Love it. So, where are all the words? Ooh, I like that. Sewing room bliss. Yeah. Let's use that one. I never got these cut up, which is unusual for me. Oh, so I am going to do a fall journal. I just watched the share from Amanda at Scrimping Mommy of her fall kit, and it is right up my alley. It's got really really pastel-y tones, which I do not like the traditional fall colors in my art, and so I think we're going to work with that kit. I might have that be kind of a beginner series kind of video where we do it from start to finish, and maybe we just do 2 signatures. I haven't quite decided what I'm going to do yet, but we'll see what that's going to look like. But I'll share the kit in a future video so that you guys can see what it looks like. But I think it's going to be really pretty. Yeah, so, and hopefully I can find another kit to couple with it. I'm never usually satisfied with just one kit. That's just my style. So I'm going to go ahead and put that right there on that. Well, maybe I'll put it below. I don't really want to take away from that pin cushion. She's really beautiful, but I have another idea. So lining that up underneath it, just making sure it's as even as I can get it. I'm going to reach in my bling drawer here and see if I can find some smaller bling that we could put inside those little flowers. Those are way too big. Give me a second. Got a mess of stuff here. Whew. Like these little ones right here. And put them right inside the flower. Wouldn't that be so cool? They have sticky on them, but I don't generally trust that. So let me put a little dot right there in that flower. Hopefully I can unstick this from my finger. So anyway, I'm going to the beach with my sisters tomorrow, so I've been trying to get things done around here and just, yeah, I had a really sore back this week. I think it's the way I've slept really hard, which is a good thing for me, but I sleep in a beanbag, so that might have to come to an end because I am so sore that I can hardly get up in the morning. So I'm back to doing my morning stretches on the floor and trying to get things loosened up again. Look at that with those little pearls. Ooh, cool. Okay, so we only have a little bit more to work with here, work on. Oh man, I got just a little sticky star there. Ah, get off my table. Okay, so what this is going to look like, I'm just going to move this to the side so you can kind of see. So I'm going to go ahead and put some Velcro dots on here, but I'm only going to put half of it on. So where did the other one go? So then when it goes in the journal, I can put the other half. So I put the hard side on here. So I would probably put this on a journal page. This is your page, right? This is your fold. And then I would make it a tuck this way. So I'll put Velcro here, here, and here on the back side. So I'm going to turn that over and see if I can remember here, here, and here. And then we put the other one on at a later time when it actually goes in the journal. And then that way it is a removable piece of ephemera, especially when it's a cool writing space like that you want to be able to utilize it, right? So, oh, did I just do that wrong? No, I didn't. So it's going to be, essentially it's like a glue, right? That's going to make this a tuck this way. Okay. So let's get our cards ready here. So I'm a mess. So we want to use this image, but I think it might be it's a little bit too wide. So I'm going to cut just a smidge off. Actually, I better not do that. I better not do that without a cutter. Oh my heavens. I'm going to take a little bit off of each side here and make it a little bit narrower. Struggle is real, guys, don't you know? So let's look at these other ones too. I think they all might be a little bit wide. So let me do the same with each of these, just to narrow that a little bit. We don't want it to be binding in the journal, and if it's too wide, it can create a problem. So I love this image so much. Oh my gosh. Reminds me of my Emily. Oh, that's so beautiful. Okay, so, and then we've got two ones that are shorter, so I do want to make them narrower as well. So I think I'm just going to lop off part of this side, and then just a little bit off of the other side on this one. And then one more. So this is the image of the base. So I thought it would be fun to have it be in the design as well here into the tuck spot. So like that. And let me get that out of the way. I am going to just go ahead and round the corners on this, and I'll be right back. And I'm going to round the corners and ink. So you could choose to keep this simple, like I showed you with the one with just the little belly band, the simple decorated belly band, and that would suffice. But sometimes I like to have ephemera that offers a lot of writing space. So this is going to fit the bill. So if we bring this back over, I'm going to actually move that paper clip over on the other side because, well, for starters, that would be, well, that's on the inside of the page, so I'll have to move it, but just so that I can show you how these are going to look behind here. So this is Velcro to your page, so you do lose a little bit of your landscape. So if you look at this, I hope you guys can see those glue dots. So see, the glue dots are here. Okay, so your stuff is really going to stick out, right? So you want to make sure it's not too tall. So I'm going to just, oh yeah, it's fine. So at its tallest, it's 7.5. Okay, so that's what it's going to look like. And you could have these kind of fan out so that you could see the different layers like this. So behind it, kind of go like that and have them kind of flail out a little bit. But then this piece is just can be pulled off of your journal page. Take that paper clip off, do your writing, fold it back up, attach it again into your journal. So that is our project for today, guys. I will probably put a couple of whale tail punches on here or tabs on here, not on all of them, because in fact I might make a couple of these shorter and just put it on the 2 larger cards, but you'll be able to see that in the pictures at the end of the video along with all of the other ones that I made. So again, this is the mechanism. Great writing space. Just make sure that you get this flattened out, okay? And I would strongly suggest you use Fabri-Tac because it does allow you a little bit of time to move it. And I would print your now you could, so this template is 65 pound, even the mechanism. So it's not that you can't do that. It's just, it's going to pop up a little bit more because it's a little thicker paper, but I like the durability of a 65 pound paper. So it's totally up to you. So I will say goodbye for now, and you'll be seeing this video on Friday the 29th. And then hopefully Sunday, I was hoping to get the flip through for the beach journal up on Saturday, but I don't think I'm going to be able to make that happen. I need to still take photos and I need to put something else on the cover. So that'll probably be a Sunday video, and then we'll move on into the new week. So I will see you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.